you got the floor, brother.
All right, as the Grange club members know, we as a club will do a service project in Oxford, Kentucky, May 5th through the 8th. We need to get firm numbers on what Rotarians are willing to go. We have Sandy Johnson, I'm willing to go as well. Once we have those numbers, we need to make sure that we get the contract with hand in hand done. So please communicate with me or Sandy this week so we can get that nailed down. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. What we're going to do, as far as our other club announcements, we are going to wait in between each speaker because it takes the judges 2, 3, 4 minutes to judge. So then we'll have club announcements at that point. So, Al, are you in? Oh, Stan, I'm sorry, Stan. I was looking for you, man. I couldn't find you. We want Stan to come up and introduce to you our speakers.
We have we're recording this, students, so you're gonna have to do the wire mic to move around with something.
It is flexible, ladies, so if you need to bend it up or down.
Please have it pointed at your mouth.
Yeah.
Won't hear. It doesn't have a very wide range. So I'm gonna read the ground rules for the contest. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for being here. From each of the clubs will be represented with this club winner, and I want to thank you all for coming. This year I did, yes, sir. Oh. Just, yeah, I hear you. Anyway, I was thanking the clubs for participating in the speech contest and for having great turnout. This year I tried something different. We had 5 clubs that had speech contests. So I've got a judge from each club. So we have a 5-way tie. I will never do that again. So here are the rules. Contestants have already drawn their order of speeches, given their speech, A, B, C, D, E. All cell phones and paging devices, including mine, should be turned off, or at least put on silent or vibrate. If you have to answer a text or call, please leave the room or postpone or not answer it until that. Audience should press not to move around during the speech as much as possible. You'll have plenty of time between speeches to move around, get refills or whatever. As difficult as it is to follow this request, we ask that you hold your applause to the end, and those who don't will be fined.
Uh-oh.
You hear me, visitors? Not really. We'll pause after each speech until all the judges indicate that they have finished their scoring. They're all sitting at one table over here. We got them at one table because I didn't want them sitting with their clubs and the students being able to watch them score. While the final scores are being tallied, the students will come up and introduce themselves, who came to the contest with them, give us a little information about what their plans are and anything else they don't tell us themselves. So we will reward the district pays the prices for first, second, and third in this contest. Now I have the checks on, even know what name to put on. So with that said, also I want all students to remain after the contest and take the rotaries. With that being said, are we all ready? Yeah. We should be. All right, so contestant A, would you please come up?
I'm going to mic you here real quick. Right? Perfect. Thank you.
That mic that you just got, It's for his recording, it's not for the record.
Okay.
Yep.
Is everybody ready? Okay. And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. On September 14th, 1814, during the War of 1812, Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner. Fort McHenry in the city of Baltimore was being bombarded by British forces. That morning, as the smoke cleared and radiant stripes of red and white could be seen waving high, we had hope that the war was not over. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines hope as the desire with expectation of obtainment or fulfillment. From the moment we're born, we have desires. As a baby, we simply desire to be fed, nurtured, and comforted. As a kid, those desires morph. We learn more about the world around us, and we become concerned with our own personal desires, like what Santa will bring us for Christmas. As we expand the reach of our knowledge of the world around us, we expand our desires. We wish for the happiness and the health of all of our friends and family. And eventually, we get to a point where we can take into consideration the desires of mass amounts of people. In fact, every member of the United States forces fighting in the War of 1812 was fighting for the desires of our country. However, taking in all of these desires all of the time can become overwhelming, to say the least. Global warming is on the rise, and we must make changes to save our planet. There is a mental health crisis on the rise, and we must make changes to save our children. Gun violence in schools is on the rise, and we must make changes to save our students. Obesity is on the rise, and we must make changes to save our population. Wow. Isn't that terrifying? Doesn't that hurt? And yet, we forget every emotion and every ounce of pain that these statements rise out of us is not our mind's way of telling us to lie down and give up. It is our mind telling us that we must take action. The modern meaning of hope has become synonymous with that of dreams. Hope becomes a fantasy that we wish would occur, but do nothing to achieve. But when we truly dive into the definition of hope, we see that it comes not only with a desire, but with an expectation of fulfillment. At the Battle of Fort McHenry, after we saw our flag waving high, we had hope that we could win the war. But that didn't mean that we stopped fighting. I mean, the war went on for another 3 months until the Treaty of Ghent was signed. So in order to spark hope, you must spark action. In this day and age, it is so easy to feel hopeless and feel like we are powerless to make a change. In fact, each and every one of us is only 1 out of 8 billion people. But through Rotary, we become so much more than that. Throughout the world, there are over 220 Rotary clubs in 220 different countries. That's what I meant. And there are an estimated 1.4 million members of Rotary, and they are already taking amazing strides and making amazing changes in our world. Rotary.org lists and describes the top 20 noteworthy global grants, the top 3 being, number 1, in Brazil, to improve neonatal mortality rates, Rotary members donated equipment to a neonatal ICU in a regional hospital, and it started a program for prenatal care and breastfeeding workshops for pregnant adolescents. This was able to halve infant mortality, down to 7 in 1,000. Number 2, in Uganda, Uganda needed improved prenatal diagnostic capabilities. So Rotarians trained a team of 23 nurses, midwives, and other healthcare practitioners to use prenatal diagnostic technology to identify life-threatening conditions and abnormalities in pregnancy. And number 3, Rotarians conducted a needs-based assessment and determined a need for a milk bank in Manila in the Philippines. They created a bank that would collect, screen, process, and distribute milk to premature, sick, and even well babies whose mothers could not produce their own breast milk. This facility was also able to provide breast milk to children who were being impacted by natural disasters. And these are only 3 projects from 3 Rotary clubs out of the 220 that were taking place. So in order to make a change, they took action. So in order to make a change, you must take action. In order to take action, you must identify a problem. In order to identify a problem, you must feel your emotions, to feel when something isn't right. Every fight to be fought, including the War of 1812, has been started because of strong emotion. So quick, so often, we just avoid feelings of distress, sorrow, and anger. But those are exactly the emotions that we need to experience and feel in order to spark change and hope in our world. So when our expectations aren't met, it hurts. And so we must feel those feelings. So the next time you hear our song of hope playing, I urge you to think of the hope that our forces acted on during the War of 1812. I urge you to get angry. I urge you to feel. I urge you to cry. I urge you to feel injustice so deeply that you feel you have no other option but to act. I urge you to have hope. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
Okay, while we're during a break, do we have any club announcements that anyone would like to share with us? Yes.
Just want to request for those that have. It's also at our Facebook page. We want to get as many respondents as possible. We do this every 3 years, and what it does is it allows us to create a community health improvement plan for the betterment of Fulton County and its residents. We had about 1,415 respondents the last time we did it 3 years ago. To date, we're just over 580, so we really like to pick that response rate up. It closes April 15th. If there's any way that I can send that, Steve, you or Matt, share this group so we can share with Chris and families out of great interest. Anyone over 18 that lives, works, or plays, well,
We will wait until the next contestant, until the judges are done. Are y'all finished? Judges, all of you finished? Yeah. Okay.
Contestant B.
There we go.
We need hope in our world, our nation, and right here in Kentucky. I have personally seen the need on the local level, and several of the ways I've tried to create hope through serving my community are priorities shared by Rotary. Today, I will tell you about 3 that mean the most to me: saving mothers and children, supporting education, and promoting peace and understanding. The Rotary tenet of saving mothers and children is one I have taken to heart. Can you imagine the hopelessness of a struggling mother faced with a hungry, suffering baby she has no food for, or a despondent single dad who cannot afford diapers for his toddler? I have witnessed this despair and lack of hope. I am an intern at the Sunshine Center, a domestic violence prevention nonprofit, where I see these sometimes desperate situations, but I also see how we give hope. It makes me so happy when we can provide these parents and their children with baby food, diapers, hygiene products, clothing, and importantly, encouragement. A few weekends ago, we had a donation drive where folks in town donated countless products to us, greatly helping families who are in need. Seeing all the diapers and baby food in our storage rooms makes me feel optimistic about the future. With the help of others, I have also had the privilege of leading and contributing to various other food, clothing, and supply drives for the Simon House Women and Children's Shelter, the St. Vincent de Paul Society, and others, all in the name of creating hope. I have also created hope as a servant leader in another mutual Rotary focus area, supporting education. During the pessimistic days of the pandemic in 2020, I designed a literacy project I call Books and Brownies. And over the past 4 years, I have collected and donated over 860 new and gently used books and homemade brownies to children in Frankfurt. I wanted to share with others the love of reading that was sparked in me by my elementary school librarian, Mrs. D. Defenbrock, who I later learned was a Rotarian herself. At the time I met Mrs. Defenbrock, I spoke very little and only in response to teacher questions. I have autism, and for the first 5 years of my life, I only spoke to 3 people, my mom, dad, and grandma, not one word to anyone else. Because of this, I spent my first 5 years of life with no friends or playmates. I did, however, have a vivid inner life, and Mrs. Defenbrock saw that in me and connected with me through books. She planted a seed of hope in me that despite my struggle with social skills, people would still want to connect with me, and that I too would be able to communicate my thoughts and feelings along with gaining interests and skills through reading. For that, I am forever grateful for her. I, in turn, feel that I am instilling hope in the kids who receive my books by opening them up to the world of possibilities in books and in themselves. Another thing I am working on is a climate audit at my school. Through the audit, students, teachers, and parents are able to voice their feelings, opinions, and experiences on mental health issues, learning methods and teaching styles, and how we can create a better tomorrow for all of us. This engenders hope as we become optimistic about expanding learning and emotional support throughout the school. It is especially beneficial for the many kids who sadly lack familial support, as it affords them an outlet to explain what struggles they may have and what subjects or opportunities they would like to be a part of to lead them to a brighter future. A brighter future for a wider world requires peace and understanding, a third value I hold in common with Rotary. About the 2023 to 2024 Rotary Year theme, Create Hope in the World, Rotary International President Gordon R. McNally said, "Peace is the soil where hope takes root." There's no peace without understanding, so I've pushed for understanding in several different ways. In my KHEAA Promote Your School essay, I described how we can look past each other's differences to gain understanding. I was grateful to be chosen to represent my school at the Hugh O'Brien Leadership Seminar, where I learned how to lead with understanding and humility. I have endeavored to create hope in the name of peace and understanding through my volunteer work with Frankfurt Leads rehabilitation programs, Special Olympics, and Last Mile to Work, a transportation initiative in which I've collected and donated 17 bicycles so far to people with no car who need a way to get to work. A special memory for me is my volunteer time as a Special Olympics bowling tournament facilitator, where I met people who were so excited and truly joyful despite anything that holds them back. My team there was amazing, and their determination and passion created hope in me. The pure delight and exuberance they radiated was contagious. I am a member of several Frankfurt groups composed of folks whose dedication to promoting peace and understanding is also contagious. I was a scribe for a community conversation on how we, from differing backgrounds and places on the political spectrum, can unite to find ways of preventing gun violence. I am a member of Focus on Race Relations, and I attend Interfaith Council of Frankfurt meetings to better understand what people in my community are doing to build bridges for a more cohesive society. A few weekends ago, I participated in the Poor People's March and saw a large and diverse group of individuals come together to fight economic injustice and spread hope that we as humans will rise against government corruption and choose love and justice. When we have empathy and open ears to what people have been through, we are generating hope. Hope is a feeling of expecting and desiring for a certain thing to happen, accompanied by a sense of trust that it will. When we, citizens of Kentucky, do something as basic as smiling at a stranger, we bring hope to the world that we as humans still care about one another. That is how, as a community, we can spread love and hope. From simple acts like holding the door for someone or volunteering your time to help others, that is how we can spread hope. Rotary's motto, service above self, means self-sacrifice, taking time out of your day, working with others that are unlike yourself, and making sure that everyone has their essential needs met, even when it is difficult to do so for political or other reasons. Rotary sees a world where people unite to enact lasting change across the globe. I challenge every person here to start creating hope today, whether it be a small kindness or a large kindness. Hope is something we all must embrace and pass on. As Rotary International President McNally said, when we help others, we help ourselves. Thank you, Rotary, for inspiring me and so many others all across the globe.
Contestant number 2. By the way, next week, we're not having our board meeting this week. We will have it next week, I believe it is. So we had to change that up a little bit. And if you are on the board, we would surely like to see you at the meeting. Anything else? Any other club announcements? Yes?
I was added, email I sent out, said old and new. board members.
Old and new board members. If you were just recently elected and not, excuse me, on the board, we would like to have you there as well. So all the old and new board members should attend. Thank you. Any other? Thank you, Joyce. Any other club announcements?
Not this club, but we'll be, South Aurora Club will be hosting the all that kind of 19th on Friday at noon for the Army Center. Just like you to email me if you could.
Can I ask you a question? I know you said you meet early in the mornings. Are you going to have your speech contest early in the morning, or will you have it?
I can't get you up early, Steve.
No, you won't. No, I'm retired now. I don't have to do that.
It's a new.
It will be at noon here. Okay. All right. Judges? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Thank you. Okay, Stan.
Go ahead. Contestant C.
C.
Darkness is a never-ending agony, a being of which all are afraid despite the repetition of denial. Darkness lurks like the beasts in the Nile. Darkness is hate. Darkness is lust. Darkness is greed. Darkness is war. Darkness is all the horrid attributes mankind holds at his core. Darkness is Mother Nature's worst enemy, hiding her beauty with clouds of chaos. An arduous journey called life, made so by the darkness man created. What is the solution? How does mankind prevail? Man made fire to extinguish the darkness, but the flame did not shine with the brightness needed to light the way. Then, a gift, God given, a box that is now open to reveal something not spoken but felt. Hope. Hope. Hope for an end to war and hate and chaos. Hope for a life of eternal grace. Hope for something as simple as sitting in silence. Mankind only knew darkness until hope. Hope is gallant. Hope does not hide under the covers. Hope fights the financial battles. Hope herds mankind like stampeding cattle. Hope guides us on a journey with the flame burning bright. Despite the child molesters, the murderers, and the power hungry in which grab at you, hope unveils a brave blade, slicing the sly and the slithering. However, hope will not provide handouts. Man can hope, but that does not mean man will receive. And for many, that is deceiving to think that hoping for something will make it happen. No, that is not hope. That is insanity. Hope gave mankind a miracle. Dreams. But to acquire a dream, man must work. Man must have the desire to achieve the goal that hope entails. Hope guides us. Do not confuse her for the manic idea that you can have what you want at will. Man is not God or wizards who turn people to lizards. Man cannot make things happen by simply wishing for it. This is not a fairy tale. This is life. Man must hope and act upon that hope. Which is why I hope every man, woman, and child will leave with words that are worth living for. I hope that people will not give up on their dream. I hope that one by one, people will wake up from that dream and do something about it. In 1963, the King of Liberty had his dream and awoke the hope that lied in the oppressed. He obsessed and gave his life to a movement that did not start moving until blood was shed. And with that blood, so red, the nation wrote words that said Black Lives Matter. With fists to the sky, they hoped their children would not cry, the same tears and reasons why. However, you still hear their cries to this day, but the Black community has come a long way, from chained to unshackled, from confinement to liberty, from slavery to bravery to speak up. And they did this with hope as their leader. In 1848, when women wanted to be heard, they let out a scream in which stated, "We can't do it," and they did. Because they hoped women would be equal, and they fought and they taught the world a lesson that man cannot lessen a woman with hope. In 2012, a small girl just turned 7. Her life was heaven until it was hell. Her parents' marriage fell apart. It broke her heart, and she did cry. She cried until it felt like she died. She ran outside and kept running from her problems. She turned it into a sport. And then it happened. She stumbled, and then she tumbled down a hill of despair. She tried to repair herself, whom she had shattered. Nothing else mattered anymore. When it felt like her time was coming to an end, she looked up to the sky. And she yelled, "God, why, oh why? Why did you make my life this way?" And a response sounded. And those words still say, "Have hope, and everything will be okay." All of a sudden, I was struck with optimism. I was empowered with ambition. And now, instead of surrendering, I fight each and every day because I hope, and with that hope, I prevailed. If the oppressed broke free like an axe to a tree, chipping away until darkness gave way, why can't you? If the depressed, whose feelings suppressed, expressed their pain and dried their never-ending rain as hope held up the umbrella, why can't you? What is stopping you from achieving your dream other than the darkness? The darkness that hope was designed to destroy. So keep hoping. Hope. Hope. Hope until your heart stops. And when your heart takes its rest, hope you will reach your place in glory, and hope that you tried your best. For life, it's a test that is passed with faith, love, and hope. A test that was designed by man so it can be conquered by man. It can be conquered by you, for it was you who created the darkness, but it is you who can shine with the gift of hope. So shine, I tell you. Shine for all to see, shine for you, shine for me, shine for all humanity. Thank you.
Take that.
Okay, we still have a few more minutes before the judges are finished. Any
Steve?
judges?
I'll just mention again, and I'm sure some of our other Rotary friends out there know, district conference is coming up May 10th and 11th. You guys have heard me make this announcement just about every week. Early bird registration closes next week. So if you're wanting to take advantage of the $99 rate, please get on to DACDB and register by next week. And we will be putting ourselves up for a few awards as well during President Steve's year here. So hopefully we'll have some success with that as well. So thank you.
Blaine, I have about 5 or 7 copies of the schedule for the conference. If anybody's interested, you'll see them.
Thank you, Blaine. Thank you, Stan. I see 2 thumbs up. Everybody done? Wonderful. Let's go with contestant number 4 then.
As Helen Keller once said, optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope. These words ring true, especially in times of uncertainty and turmoil. Hope is the belief that even in the darkest of times, there's still light to be found. It's the spark that ignites courage in the face of adversity and the driving force that propels us towards a better future. One way we can bring hope to those who need it most is by focusing on mental health. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to overlook those struggling silently on the inside every day. By reaching out and offering support, whether it's through therapy, counseling, or simply just lending an ear, we can make a profound impact in someone's life. One project filled with hope is the Operation Christmas Child Shoebox Initiative through Samaritan's Purse. My grandmother likes to tell me the story about from before I was born when my grandfather took this mission trip to the Philippines. Upon his return, he found himself very passionate about helping the children he met there and many more like them. He learned of this project where shoeboxes were being sent to children around the world in need. He was determined to participate and immediately went shopping. Grandpa kept telling my grandmother she just had no idea how few items children had in other countries. He started filling up the shopping cart. He threw in basketballs, dolls, toys, and bags of candy. Granny kept telling him it wasn't all going to fit, but he just kept saying over and over, they would have to make it fit. He said, you just don't understand. Those kids have nothing. No toys or anything to play with. When they went home and packed the shoeboxes, Grandpa kept shoving things down inside them and then squeezing it in as tight as he could. After that, he would shake it around to make more space. Then he tore open the bags of candy and shoved handfuls of candy down into those boxes. When it was all said and done, Granny and Grandpa had to save about half of what they bought for the next year because Grandpa couldn't get half the store in 10 boxes. But now every year whenever I think about boxes, packing shoe boxes, I have to think about this story of my grandfather's compassion and his hope and how much he wanted to share those things with children who have nothing. This project allows those packing shoe boxes to spread joy and happiness to children in need around the world. By simply filling a shoebox with small gifts and essentials, a significant impact can be made in the lives of those less fortunate. This small act of kindness not only brings smiles to the faces of children, but it instills a sense of hope and optimism for the future. Just as people are working together to fill shoeboxes and bring hope to children around the world, we have the power to bring hope to those right here in our own community. According to Global Bank, over 700 million people are living in poverty around the world. The Census Bureau tells us that 11.5% of the US population are living below the poverty line. These are overwhelming numbers of individuals who need hope. I know Rotary is already working towards creating hope through various projects focused on education, empowerment, and access to basic necessities. Just as the Rotary president, Gordon McAnally, said, this theme of creating hope in the world helps explain how we create a similar kind of change within ourselves. It is brave to be vulnerable and to admit when you need help. He also says, when we help ourselves, we are essentially helping others. It benefits our own mental health by reducing stress and improving our mood. I know this is true in my own life. It gives me joy to help people, but I believe it's very important to monitor my own mental health in order to do a good job of helping other people. Ever since I was a little boy, I always wanted to go and help at the last step of processing shoeboxes before they were sent to these children in other countries. 8 years later, when I was finally old enough, I was super excited that my mom and I chose the Regional Processing Center in North Carolina, closest to us. When we arrived, we were partnered with a team and we immediately went to work. It was fun at first, opening up the boxes, discovering what was inside of them, filling them up if they needed more items, taking out what wasn't safe for the children to receive. But then, after about 4 hours, in hundreds of boxes, I began to realize how sore my feet were. My legs were starting to ache. And the longer I stood there and thought about the pain in my legs and feet, the more tired I became. I was looking around to try to find something to keep my mind off the pain in my legs and feet, and I saw this huge projector screen up in the front of the building. Up on that projector screen was a picture of this little boy. He was holding a shoebox way over his head, and he had a gigantic smile on his face. That picture flashed off, and another picture came up, and it was a picture of this little girl hugging a shoebox to her chest, and she had these sunglasses on that she just received in that shoebox. As I looked at those pictures, there was one that flashed up that caught my heart the most. It was a picture of this little boy. He was standing there with what looked like half a washcloth wrapped around his waist that he was wearing his shorts. He had two flattened plastic bottles strapped to the bottom of his feet that he was using as shoes. In that moment, I realized that the pain that my young 13-year-old self was experiencing was nothing at all. I had never actually recognized that there were people, millions of people, living around the world in that kind of poverty. My determination to help bring hope to these children was renewed. The Operation Christmas Child website has many testimonies on the impact shoeboxes have had on the lives of children around the world. One of my favorites was a comment by a young girl who said, "When the shoebox came to me, it planted a seed at a time. When I was looking for hope, looking for something to believe in, I never felt so much hope in my life, knowing that there was someone out there who cared enough about me to send me a shoebox." You see, in a world filled with uncertainty and despair, it is absolutely imperative that we uplift and support one another as well as those we are serving. When we partner together through initiatives to help address poverty and mental health, we have the power to become opportunity creators, problem solvers, and community builders. I was impressed to find in my research that Rotary has a global network of 1.4 million individuals. I can only imagine the lasting impact that these individuals will have as they work to create hope and bring positive change to the world. We can make a tangible difference in the lives of those struggling mentally and physically. By being a people of action, we have the power to create hope in the world. I encourage you to continue to spread positivity and goodwill wherever you go. I know it's my goal to be a beacon of hope in our community. So let's take action and make a lasting impact as we bring hope to those who need it most.
While I have the mic for a few more minutes, we got a lot of new folks in here. And I'd like to take the opportunity to say, hey, we're always looking for Rotary members. If any of you all out there are interested in what we're doing here, what Rotary can do, come and join us. We'll get you all signed up, signed in, and make you a member. How's that? Got three thumbs up. 4, 5. Oh, okay, there we go. Our next contestant.
Hello. Today I want to share with you a cause that is close to my heart, community service. Growing up in Oldham County, the importance of community service was instilled in me at a young age. I was taught that in order to create hope in the world, we must first start by serving in our own communities. This belief has guided me throughout my life, caused me to volunteer in various ways and witness firsthand the impact that it can have on individuals and society as a whole. Community service, to me, is about spreading kindness, helping those in need, and creating a sense of unity among people. It's showing compassion, empathy, and support to those who may not have a lot of light or hope in their lives. Not only can community service benefit those who are being served, but I've also seen the impact it can have on those who dedicate their time and energy to make a difference. One person who comes to mind is a past Interact president, who now serves at Dance Blue at the University of Kentucky and helps contribute millions of dollars each year to pediatric cancer. Through her help, not only has she provided hope to families struggling from a bad diagnosis, but she has also built up her own character and in turn inspired others around her to do the same. The world we live in today is filled with uncertainty, division, and challenges. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by all of this and lose hope in the world. However, I firmly believe that by coming together as a community to support and uplift one another, we can create change. As I just said, the world is filled with negativity, and we're constantly being fed this. I see this every day at OC. High school is filled with comparison and stress. We all get so worried about our futures that we forget to focus on all the good happening in our lives right now. One of my favorite parts about being the president of Interact at Oldham County High School is the ability to bring others to community service. I love to watch how it transforms them and their lives. Oftentimes, as high schoolers, it's easy to feel like we don't have a purpose and we can't change anything because of our young age. However, as students begin to start volunteering, they also learn that they can have a profound impact on other people and that they too have the power to deliver hope. More than that, volunteering pulls them away from the stress and worry of the future and grounds them in the moment. I believe that there is a natural goodness in us all, and sometimes we just need reminding of that, which is where community service comes in. I recently heard a story of a lady at the grocery store. She was standing in the flower department, admiring the flowers, when a lady behind her commented on how beautiful the flowers were. After having a conversation with her, she decided to buy the lady a bouquet. After checking out, she found the lady and gave her the bouquet of flowers. The lady then burst into tears, explaining how her husband had recently died, and every Thursday of their marriage, he had bought her flowers. That day happened to be the first Thursday without him, and the lady went on to explain to the girl that through her small act of kindness, she had been helped tremendously through the grief. This story is a perfect representation that we never know what kind of mental health challenges someone might be going through. Our small acts of kindness may seem insignificant to us, but to them, it could be the whole world. In conclusion, overall, it's important to remember that there is always hope in the world, and that hope can come through us, and we have the ability to spread that. Maybe it's just offering someone some kind words, or giving a stranger a smile. Maybe it's volunteering with Rotary Club, or maybe it's going to High Point to serve others. You never know what you might be doing. And it's so important that today's world, with challenges and division, we can come together to help each other and support one another. More than that, as we help other people through community service, they are then inspired to go help others too. This creates a domino effect, spreading hope throughout the world. We may never understand what kind of differences we might be making through our small act of kindness, but it could be spreading throughout the community and throughout the world. I beg all of you to go create change and seek change in your communities, because we are all so capable of spreading hope. Thank you.
Okay, we'll give the judges a few more minutes, and while we're doing that, why don't we do the raffle? Joyce, would you do the draw? Who has not bought a ticket?
I'll do it.
Would you do that for me, please? Thank you.
I'm cheap.
And the current total, if you spin the lucky Rotary emblem, is $310.
Purple. All right, if you land on purple, we got a $40 gift. If you land on the square with the Rotary emblem, it's the $310.
$10.
So go ahead and pick us a number, please, sir.
Okay, I'll get this closer, don't talk a lot.
That's 169-905. 169-905.
I got it.
I knew you.
Ho
I'm done.
How timely.
Yeah.
Twice in a month.
All right. Make it a good spin.
2 times round, Stan.
Oh. Pizza.
You have 2 extra pizza tickets.
Okay, Judge, are you,
He wants to give the 2 contestants a ticket that don't win.
Four sheets to, this.
Let's give you these.
And then, Dean,
Judge, I say,
Matt, Dean, and Mark, down on these, are gonna score them up. So while they're doing that, you got anything you want to say?
yes, I do have something I want to say. Judges, thank you all for being here to do this for us. And you have got to have a hard time selecting. All 5 were just wonderful.
So let's give these people a hand. That's a 5. I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and this is the best sectional contest speech wise that I've seen. So all the speeches are outstanding. So while we're tallying, does anybody have any announcements they want? You know, I remember Al saying, well, you know, Jonathan Westbrook tells jokes when there's time. And I said, well, you know, that's not my thing. So I went into artificial intelligence the other day and I said, give me some jokes about Rotary and the Rotary speech contest. And they were so bad, I'm not going to read any. But I thought they would at least give me something covered. Once I asked for them to tell my wife how much I love her. It was wonderful, man. I never told her. Wrote that right in the card. Yes, sir.
You have a comment. I mean, I've done a lot of judging, it's all a lot of contests. This is something I've ever.
Yeah. Really good. I agree. I've seen a lot of.
And you know what? You know why, what's up? Parents, educators are here. You make these students on stage.
So at that, I'm gonna ask students to come up one at a time in order of their delivery. So we can tell us about yourselves and who's with you. So contestant A.
I just put a big bite of chicken in my mouth.
It won't go against you, I promise.
I'll go full
You're
like
finished
this.
speaking, so
I
it won't
can
go
give you
against.
a second.
We got time.
Solid 30 seconds.
We got more time than you can.
You need a drink?
Probably.
Yeah.
Don't you love?
Okay, we're ready to roll.
Give us your name, school, and where you plan on being after high school.
So I'm Ryan Stalker. I'm a senior at South Oldham High School. This is my 2nd year doing the Rotary competition. I'm here with my lovely mother, Jamie. She's amazing. We like to call her Slay Me because she's slave. We love her. Anyways, I am not sure where I'm going to college yet. I've applied to a bunch of places, just waiting to hear back. Thinking maybe
Indiana, Bloomington, Clemson, UK, we'll see. But I also play field hockey. I'm the captain of the field hockey team. I do speech and debate at South, and I'm also a captain in that. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
All right.
Now, UK was mentioned, and I just thought, there's a coach that they should go for basketball. His name, we know because he coached U of L the last few years. They should go for that. Mr. Payne. All right, contestant 2. That was a joke, you all thought I might have been.
Hello, my name is Mara Mallard. I'm a senior at Frankfurt High School. I'm here with my father, Tim Mallard, and my mother, Deborah Goins, and from my Frankfurt Rotary Club, Andrew and his sister. I will be attending Center College in the fall. I plan on studying sociology and philosophy. I enjoy doing nonprofit and advocacy work and possibly going into the academic field. And I'd like to be very involved in my school and in different Frankfurt community groups. So yeah, thank you all for coming.
Speaker 3. Let's see. These people.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Kiner. I'm a senior at Trumbull County Junior Senior High School. My parents are not with me here today, but I do have my Dean of Students and Superintendent here, so that's cool. I don't know if any of you caught that, but in my poem, I said about a small girl from 2012. I don't know if you caught that, but that was me. I moved here from Texas in 2012, and I originally went to Oldham County, and then I moved to Trumbull County. And let's just say everybody, like, it's a whole thing with coming from Texas. Everyone's like, yee-haw, you say that down there. It's like, no, no, actually we don't, but we do say howdy, so. And I am on the cross country and the track team. I'm team captain on both. I get to help the younger students because we're junior, senior high school. I get to help the younger students in their events, and it's really fun to watch all of the kids grow and become their own people. Thank you.
Okay, that's the D.
Hi, my name is Jeremiah Jury. I'm a freshman. I'm homeschooled, and I'm heavily involved in my 4-H and FFA clubs. We just started a homeschool FFA chapter, so I'm pretty excited about that. And I play soccer. I was playing varsity. I was varsity starter a couple of times this year, and it's a little bit about me.
Who's with you?
Oh, that's my mom, Christy, and my little brother, Josiah. I'm really thankful that they were able to come. And I'd like to thank the Rotary Club here for putting on this opportunity for all of us young students. Owen County.
This is Owen County. Okay, contestant E.
Hello, I'm Hannah Pittman. I'm from Oldham County High School. I'm very involved in business. I do business here at Arvin. And I also love to be involved at OC. So I do a lot of community service with Beta and Interact. And I also play powder puff and I ride horses. And yeah, I really love getting involved in OC, going on the football games and being part of our student section. And I was in ASB, which is our student council. So I just love high school. I love being involved in high school.
Who's with you?
My mom.
Oh, yeah.
What's mom's name? Eileen, thank you. Appreciate it.
He's going to take over a while. I'm going to find the scorekeepers. Where do they go?
Are the scores on tallied up? Is
Gave
it-
our sheets today.
No, they went outside.
It's hard to believe that they're out there.
Have you been up? How about birthdays? Any birthdays in April?
Okay, here's one more business. One more Rotary business. Raise your hand if you're a Rotarian who has a birthday in April. No April birthdays?
No one's messing up.
Oh. All right, no birthdays in April. Sorry, Donnie, you don't get to collect. Devin's gonna owe us big time. Let me remind everyone who's on the board that our meeting will be next Tuesday after Rotary. And if you're a newly elected board member, we would like for you to stick around also.
Oh, yeah. Hey, hey.
You know, when you're hired. Like your son, Greg. I love you. You're in all.
When I was in college,
I think she. I should take. Oh, I do. I remember that. I remember.
Okay. If I can have all 5 students come up. I appreciate it. Let's give them one more hand here. So, first thing I want to do is thank you all for participating in the contest. I know everybody was on spring break last week, and I'm sure you spent a lot of time on spring break down in Florida, going over your speeches. No, I know you did. You had them down pat. You really did a good job. So, first thing I want to do is, we have a Rotary coin that we give to guests. It has our 4-way test that we said earlier. And I know the Grange winner already has hers, but I would like to give you your coin. Okay. So I have something for everybody, including 4th and 5th are gonna get a pizza. That's good. Hometown pizza. Our 3rd place winner was contestant A. Not bad, you get that. So and our 2nd place winner was contestant B. And our 1st place winner was contestant C from Bedford. So if you all would give me your card back to the first 3, I will give you your check. And with that, thank you all, thank you everybody for all you did for these people. If we sure have a great time.
Hold on a minute, hold on, wait for me. All right, all 7 of you. Yep, you can all get in. Get us all in. Thank you all for being here. Great.